She thought she was just saving a customer's life, but that one kiss, the one she didn't plan, turned her into the most wanted woman in Chicago. Before we dive into the story, please hit that subscribe button and stick around until the end so you can rate this story from 1 to 10 in the comments. The afternoon sun poured through the wide glass windows of Hopper's Diner, painting everything gold and warm. Outside, the streets of Chicago buzzed with life. Inside, Maya Brooks wiped down tables, her white apron stained with coffee and exhaustion. She was 26, working double shifts to put her younger sister through nursing school. Hopper's Diner was her second home. Safe. Predictable. Until today. 3 men sat in the corner booth where the light didn't quite reach. Black suits. Cold eyes. One had a scar cutting across his neck like a warning. Another rolled a gold coin between his fingers, over and over, like he was counting down to something. The youngest kept checking his watch every 30 seconds. Maya passed their table to refill coffee and heard a whisper that froze her blood. The moment he sits down, we move. Before she could process it, the bell above the door rang, and the entire diner seemed to pause mid-breath. A tall man stepped inside. Dark suit. Black sunglasses. His presence changed the air somehow. People noticed him without knowing why. Lucas Reed. Maya had heard the name in whispers. Some said he owned half the city's underground. Others said he was the reason certain bad people disappeared. He sat by the window. The 3 men straightened like wolves catching a scent. Maya's hands trembled as she approached him. "What can I get you?" "Just coffee," he said. Deep voice. Steady. Used to being obeyed. As she poured, she leaned close enough that only he could hear. "Don't turn around." 3 men. Back corner. "They're watching you. I think they have weapons." Lucas didn't even blink. He smiled like she'd said something kind. "Thank you. Now walk away slowly." She did. But her eyes stayed on the corner booth. One of the men shifted. His hand moved under his jacket. Lucas dropped his spoon. The loud clang hit the floor. And that's when one of the men reached for his gun. Maya's body moved on its own. She ran toward Lucas, grabbed his face, and kissed him. The gunshot exploded a heartbeat later. The bullet sliced through the air exactly where his head had been 1 second earlier. Her kiss, her sudden desperate kiss, had saved his life. Chaos erupted. Lucas pulled her down as customers screamed. The sharp smell of gunpowder filled the air. Lucas moved with deadly precision, firing twice toward the back. 1 attacker fell. Another crashed into a table. The third bolted for the door. Silence. Then the ringing in Maya's ears. Lucas looked at her, surprise flickering in his eyes. "You kissed me. You were about to die." He gave a small, disbelieving smile. "Then I guess I owe you my life." He stood, pulling her up. "We have to go. Right now." "What? I can't just." "They saw your face. That makes you part of this now." Before she could argue, he grabbed her hand and pulled her through the kitchen, out the back door, into the blinding sunlight. They ran. A black car waited by the corner. Lucas unlocked it and opened the passenger door. "Get in." "Who are you?" He slid behind the wheel. "Someone you shouldn't have saved." The engine roared. 2 blocks behind them, another car pulled out, dark windows, same black suits. "They're following us," Maya said. "I know." Lucas took a sudden left turn, tires squealing. "Keep your head down." They cut through side streets until they reached the industrial district. Lucas parked near a gray building with no sign. "Come on. You're safer inside." The room smelled of motor oil and dust. Security monitors showed different camera views of the city. "This is one of my safe houses," he said, locking the door. Maya caught her breath. "So you really are?" "Yeah. The things people say about me aren't stories." He poured 2 glasses of water. "You're shaking." "I just saw someone get shot. And I think I saved a criminal." "You saved a man. Whatever else I am, that part's true." Maya set her glass down. "What happens now?" Lucas looked at the monitors. "Now I make sure they don't come back for you." "You mean they'll try?" "They saw your face. That makes you part of this." Then you'd better tell me what I just stepped into. Lucas was quiet for a long moment. You stepped into a war, Maya. And right now, you're the only person I can trust. A knock at the door made her jump. Lucas drew his weapon before opening it. A tall, military-built man stepped in. Lucas. Maya, this is Eli Carter. He's a friend. Eli nodded at her, then turned serious. You weren't lying about trouble. I traced the shooter's car, registered to one of Ryan's guys. Maya frowned. Ryan. My cousin, Lucas said quietly. Used to be your partner, Eli added. Now he's meeting with the Costello family. They want you dead, Lucas. And word is spreading about the girl who saved you. Maya's stomach dropped. They know about me? They know a waitress at Hopper's helped him, Eli said. They don't have your face yet. But they will. Lucas grabbed his jacket. We're leaving. There's another place, an hour from here. We move before sunrise. What about my sister? Maya asked suddenly. If they're looking for me. Lucas pulled out his phone. Eli, send 2 of our best to watch her apartment. No one gets close. Already done, Eli said. Maya looked at him, surprised. You were already protecting her? I protect what matters, Lucas said simply. They drove until the city noise faded into open road and stars. The second safe house sat in quiet farmland, plain, ordinary, invisible. Inside, Lucas locked every door and checked every window. Maya collapsed into a chair. You don't look like the kind of man people describe, she said. What kind is that? The kind who scares everyone. Lucas sat across from her. Fear keeps people alive in my world. But it's not who I am all the time. So who are you when no one's watching? He thought about it. Someone who doesn't sleep much. That made her smile. Maybe we have that in common. The room went quiet. Outside, crickets hummed. You could leave it all, Maya said. Start over. Lucas met her eyes. And what would I be then? Alive. For the first time, he didn't have an answer. When Maya finally went upstairs, Lucas stayed by the window until the sky began to lighten. He thought about the bullet that missed, the kiss that saved him, and the woman upstairs who had changed everything without meaning to. The sun came early. Maya stood by the kitchen window with coffee, breathing in the quiet. Then Eli burst through the door. We've got company. Black SUV at the end of the road. Same car from the diner. Lucas was already reaching for his weapon. Back exit. Now. They slipped out into tall grass. An old truck sat behind the house. Lucas started the engine. The SUV appeared, closing in fast. Lucas slammed the brakes. The truck skidded sideways. The SUV swerved and crashed into a ditch. Move. Lucas grabbed Maya's hand and they ran toward the river. Behind them, angry voices shouted. They reached an abandoned bridge where another car sat hidden under a tarp. Eli drove while Lucas watched the road. Your cousin really wants you dead, Maya said quietly. Ryan grew up in this business with me. My father trusted him like a son. When I took over, Ryan wanted half of everything. I said no. That's why he's doing this. It's not just about money. The Costellos offered him my place at the top in exchange for information, names, shipments, everything that could ruin me. He's been clearing me out one piece at a time. Eli glanced in the mirror. 3 warehouses hit last week. He's moving fast. Maya listened, piecing it together. And what happens to you if you can't stop him? Then he wins. And anyone close to me pays the price. She met his eyes. You don't have to do this alone. Lucas studied her. You don't even know what I've done, Maya. Then tell me. Let me decide for myself. He looked away. One day. When there's time. They reached the city outskirts by afternoon and stopped at a narrow apartment building. The top floor was empty except for 2 chairs and a couch. Lucas opened a window. City sounds floated up, traffic, distant laughter, life continuing. You never stop checking things, Maya observed. It's a habit. From surviving. Eli returned with food and a folder. News spreads fast. Ryan's telling people you're finished. Some are starting to believe it. Inside the folder were photos, broken warehouse doors, burned trucks, and a note taped to a wall in red ink, "You're next, cousin." Lucas closed it calmly. "He'll have to get in line." "We can strike back," Eli offered. "No. That's what he expects. We wait." When Eli left, Maya said softly, "You act like you don't care. But I think you do." Lucas sat across from her. "Fear keeps people alive. But it's exhausting. Maybe you just need a reason to stop being afraid." He looked at her for a long time. "Maybe." The city lights flickered on as night fell. Thunder rumbled somewhere distant. Just before dawn, Lucas felt it, the stillness before violence. A black SUV sat 2 doors down, engine off, tail lights glowing red. "They found us," he said quietly. Maya woke instantly. "How?" "Doesn't matter. We move now." Eli appeared with a rifle. 2 outside, maybe 3. Lucas handed Maya toward the fire escape. "Stay behind me." Gunfire cracked through the morning. Eli returned fire as Lucas pulled Maya down the metal steps into an alley that smelled of rain and garbage. "Keep moving," Lucas said, his voice steady even as bullets sparked off metal above them. They ran through narrow back streets until they stopped behind delivery trucks, both gasping for air. "Eli?" Maya asked. "He'll find us. He always does." Maya looked at him. "You can't keep running forever." "I know. Then stop. End it before it ends you." Lucas turned to her. "You think it's that easy?" "No. But maybe it's the only way." He stepped closer. "You shouldn't even be here. I dragged you into this." "You didn't drag me anywhere," she said firmly. "I stayed because I wanted to." For the first time, Lucas looked away first. "There's a warehouse near the docks. If we can reach it, I can call in my crew. We end this today." They slipped into the morning crowd, 2 people bound by danger and something neither would name yet. The docks smelled of salt and diesel. Cargo cranes loomed overhead. Seagulls circled. Lucas led them to a small gray warehouse. "Ryan doesn't know about this place." Eli joined them minutes later, limping but steady. "Lost them. But they'll regroup." Lucas pulled out a tablet. "Every deal, every message Ryan sent to the Costellos, I've got all of it." Eli raised an eyebrow. "You've had proof this whole time?" "I needed to be sure. Now I am." Maya stepped closer. "So you'll expose him?" "Not to the police. To the families. The truth will turn them against him faster than any bullet could." Eli nodded. "It might work." "Might?" Maya asked. "He'll come here once he figures out what we're doing," Eli said. Lucas checked his weapon. "Good. I want him to." Maya felt ice in her veins. "You're setting a trap." "The only kind that ends this." "You don't have to be here for this," Lucas told her. "When it starts, you go out the back." She shook her head. "I'm not running." "Maya." "I already saved your life once. Don't ask me to watch from the sidelines now." Outside, an engine roared closer. Tires screeched. Doors slammed. Lucas looked at her once. "Whatever happens, you walk away when I tell you." The door burst open. Ryan Reed stepped inside, flanked by 2 armed men. His smile was cold. "Well, cousin. Looks like you've been busy." Lucas didn't reach for his weapon. He just looked at Ryan, the boy he'd grown up with, who'd become his enemy. "Ryan, you should have called." Ryan laughed. "Didn't think you'd pick up." He nodded toward Maya. "So this is the waitress who saved you." Almost romantic. Lucas stepped in front of her. "Leave her out of this." "Can't. People are talking about how she kissed you. Makes a good story." Eli moved to the side, hand near his weapon. Ryan raised his gun. "You really think they'll follow you after this?" Lucas interrupted calmly. Ryan hesitated. Lucas nodded toward a camera in the corner, its red light blinking. "They're watching. Every family head. They saw the messages you sent to the Costellos. They know you're a traitor. Ryan's hand shook. You. They'll be here in minutes. And they don't forgive traitors. For the first time, fear crossed Ryan's face. Then, a slow clap echoed from the shadows. Everyone froze. A woman stepped into the light. Sharp suit. Silver hair. A face that could have been carved from ice. Maya's blood went cold. She recognized that face from the news. Victoria Costello. Head of the Costello crime family. Beautiful performance, Lucas, Victoria said, her voice smooth as silk. But you made one mistake. Lucas's expression didn't change, but Maya saw his jaw tighten. Victoria smiled. Did you really think Ryan was smart enough to orchestrate all this? The warehouses? The attacks? The perfect timing. Ryan's face went pale. What are you? Shut up, Victoria said without looking at him. You were always just a puppet, Ryan. A useful idiot who thought he was playing chess. She turned to Lucas. I've been planning this for 2 years. Ryan was just convenient. A jealous cousin with predictable ambitions. Easy to manipulate. Lucas's voice stayed level. What do you want, Victoria? Everything you have. Your territory. Your connections. Your reputation. She paused. But I can't just take it. The other families would push back. I need you to give it to me. I'd rather die. Victoria's smile widened. I know. That's why I brought insurance. She snapped her fingers. 2 men dragged someone into the warehouse, bound, gagged, terrified. Maya's sister. No. Maya lunged forward, but Lucas caught her. Emma. Maya screamed. Victoria examined her nails casually. Here's how this works. You sign over everything to me, Lucas. Every business, every contact, every asset. Or Emma Brooks dies slowly while her sister watches. Maya's world tilted. How did you? I've had people watching you since the diner, dear. The moment you saved Lucas, you became valuable. Leverage. Victoria looked at Lucas. What's it worth to you? An empire? Or one innocent girl? Lucas's face was stone. But Maya saw his hands curl into fists. Let her go, Lucas said quietly. This is between us. Wrong. This became about her the moment Maya chose to involve herself. Victoria pulled out a contract. Sign. You have 60 seconds. Maya looked at Lucas, tears streaming. Don't give her anything because of me. Maya. My sister wouldn't want this. I don't want this. 45 seconds, Victoria said. Lucas looked at the contract. At Maya. At Emma trembling against the wall. Then his expression changed. Something cold and calculating clicked into place. Okay, he said. I'll sign. No. Maya cried. Lucas picked up the pen. But first, you let the sisters go. Both of them. That's the deal. Victoria considered. The waitress stays until you sign. Then they both leave. Lucas nodded slowly. He bent over the contract. And drove the pen through Victoria's hand, pinning it to the table. Victoria screamed. Lucas grabbed her weapon as chaos erupted. Eli fired twice, dropping Victoria's guards. Ryan lunged for a gun but Maya kicked it away. Lucas had Victoria's neck in his grip, his weapon pressed to her temple. Call them off. Now. Victoria gasped, fury in her eyes. You think this changes anything? It changes everything. Lucas pulled out his phone with his free hand and hit a button. The warehouse door burst open. Not Ryan's men. Not Victoria's crew. FBI agents in tactical gear flooded in, weapons raised. FBI. Nobody move. Maya's mind reeled. What? A woman in a suit stepped forward, badge gleaming. Victoria Costello, you're under arrest for racketeering, murder, conspiracy. You set me up, Victoria hissed at Lucas. Lucas leaned close. I've been working with the FBI for 6 months. Every conversation, every transaction, recorded. You just confessed to everything on camera. He pointed up. 3 more cameras blinked red in the rafters. Victoria's face went white with rage. Ryan stared in disbelief. You were undercover? No, Lucas said. I was guilty. I did everything they said I did. But 6 months ago they offered me a deal, help bring down the Costellos, testify against the real corruption, and I'd get immunity. I took it. He looked at Maya. That's why I couldn't tell you. That's why I had to make it look real. Agents moved to free Emma. Maya ran to her sister, holding her tight. The lead agent approached Lucas. You got what we needed. The confession, the evidence. We're done here. Lucas nodded. He looked at Ryan. You'll do time. But if you cooperate, maybe it won't be life. Ryan just stared, broken. As the agents led Victoria and Ryan away, the warehouse grew quiet. Maya held her sister, both of them shaking. Lucas stood apart, watching them. Finally, Maya stood. You used me. He didn't deny it. Yes. To make it look real. To make Victoria think you were vulnerable. Yes. Emma looked between them, confused. Maya walked toward him slowly. You could have told me. If you'd known, you wouldn't have reacted the right way. Victoria's people were watching you. They needed to believe you were just a waitress who saved me on impulse. If you'd known I was working with the FBI. The kiss, Maya said quietly. You knew there'd be shooters in the diner. Lucas met her eyes. I knew Ryan was planning something. I didn't know when or how. Your kiss, that was real. You saved my life for real. Everything after that, I had to protect you while also using the situation. That's twisted. I know. Silence stretched between them. Emma touched Maya's arm. Can we go home? Maya nodded. But she looked at Lucas one more time. What happens to you now? Witness protection. New name. New life. Where? Can't tell you that. Maya felt her throat tighten. So this is goodbye. Yeah. She turned to leave with Emma. Maya. She stopped. Lucas stepped closer. What you did in that diner, that was the bravest thing I've ever seen. Everything else was a game. Strategy. But that moment? That was real. That was you. Maya's eyes burned. Was any of it real for you? He looked at her like he was memorizing her face. More than it should have been. Then he stepped back. Go home. Forget about me. Live your life. Maya took Emma's hand and walked toward the door. At the threshold, she turned back once. Lucas was already gone. Months later, Emma had graduated from nursing school and life had returned to something like normal. Except Maya still thought about him. About the kiss. About the man who'd turned out to be both everything and nothing she'd believed. The bell above the door rang. Maya turned. A man stood there. Different haircut. Casual clothes. No suit, no sunglasses. But those eyes. Hi, Lucas said quietly. I was wondering if you serve coffee to strangers here. Maya's breath caught. You're supposed to be. I know. But witness protection got boring. And I realized something. What? He stepped closer. I spent my whole life surviving. Playing games. Staying 3 steps ahead of everyone. He paused. But that kiss? That wasn't strategy. That wasn't a game. That was the first real thing that happened to me in 10 years. Maya's hands trembled. Lucas. My real name is Michael. Michael Grant. And I'm not a mafia boss anymore. I'm just a guy who can't stop thinking about a waitress who saved his life. Emma appeared from the kitchen, saw him, and smiled. You're the guy. Yeah, he said. Emma looked at Maya. I'm taking my break. She disappeared back into the kitchen. Maya and Michael stood there in the empty diner as the last sunlight painted the windows gold. You could have stayed hidden, Maya said softly. I could have. But what's the point of surviving if you're not really living? She felt tears prick her eyes. You're insane. Probably. The FBI's going to be furious. Definitely. And we barely know each other. I know. But I'd like to change that. If you'll let me. Maya looked at this man, this stranger who wasn't a stranger, and felt something settle in her chest. Okay, she said. But you're buying coffee this time. He smiled. Deal. They sat in the same booth where it all began. And as they talked, really talked, for the first time without bullets or lies or fear, Maya realized something. Sometimes the kiss that starts a war is also the kiss that ends one. Sometimes the most dangerous thing you can do is also the right thing. And sometimes, the person who turns your world upside down is exactly the person you've been waiting for. Thank you all for following this story until the end. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and tell me in the comments where you're watching from.